Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on the YourAverageGamer channel. We're going to be continuing on our gun reviews here of old meta weapons, but this time changing it up a little bit in that rather than doing our primary ranged weapon, we're actually going to use our close range secondary and we're going to do a review of the Mac10. The Mac10 is a weapon that's been in Warzone ever since Cold War Season 1. And since then, it's seen numerous nerfs, but it's still a great SMG. It's a low damage, high fire rate weapon that will burn through targets as quickly as you burn through bullets. In addition to that, it has almost peerless mobility and very low recoil. This makes it perfect as your close range sidearm for use around Caldera, where there's quite a lot of times where you find yourself travelling over long distances. And sometimes you might have to use your SMG at ranges slightly outside what you would usually use at, so the low recoil can really help. Now, a lot of you will be thinking, oh, the Mac10, it's always been kind of meta. And it always has, ever since Cold War first came out. As I said, it's seen many nerfs, and yet it always remained a very relevant and strong SMG. However, in my opinion, since Vanguard came out, the one thing that Vanguard has brought with it is some very strong SMGs. And at the minute, I would say the best SMGs are the Owen gun and the MP40, which has taken the shine somewhat off of the Mac10. So I'm still going to count this as a former meta weapon that I wish to review. Now let's get into some stats of the base weapon. So the base weapon has an incredible fire rate of 1,111 rounds per minute, along with a muzzle velocity of 700 meters per second. So it absolutely chews through the original 32 bullet magazine, but it can put targets down so quickly that they won't even know what's hit them. All they'll get is a spew of hit markers and they'll go straight down. The damage profile is pretty simple. It's 28 damage to the head, 22 damage to the neck and torso, and then 19 damage to all of the extremities within 15 meters. Outside of 15 meters, it does 24 damage to the head, 19 to the torso and neck, and 17 to the arms and legs. So therefore, you can see how low the damage is, but then again, that's compensated for by the enormous fire rate. On to the attachments that I would recommend. The first attachment that I would recommend would be the agency suppressor muzzle. This is both to keep you off the radar and to boost your damage range and bullet velocity. Secondly, I would add the task force barrel to push that range even further, whilst also increasing your strafe speed, so that whilst you're shooting, you can strafe left and right and make it harder for your opponent to hit you. I would then continue to boost up your already great mobility and lean all the way into the speed by using the Tiger Team Spotlight. This attachment will make you extremely fast even while aiming down sight and firing. Next, I would also use the SAS Combat Stock. Now, you could also swap this out for the Raider Stock if you wish. The Raider Stock will boost sprint to fire and tactical sprint to fire, dropping these by 40 and 80 milliseconds respectively. However, it will also have a negative effect on that strafe speed I spoke about earlier. So instead, I actually choose to use the SAS Combat Stock. This does the complete opposite of the Raider Stock. It does increase your sprint to fire slightly, however it does make you quicker on those strafes. So I personally find that the sprint to fire time on this weapon is already fantastic, so I don't need to reduce it further. But I would rather increase that strafe speed so that when I'm in a fight with someone, I can just move left and right as much as possible and really help to stop them hitting their shots on target, which can make, one shot missed in a close range fight can make all the difference. So that's why I choose this attachment. The final attachment I use is to increase the magazine. I use the 53 round drum. Of course, 32 rounds when you're firing over 1,000 rounds per minute, those 32 absolutely disappear and you'll struggle to get one kill and a finish with this 30 round mag. With 50, you at least have enough probably for 2 downs, maybe even a finish in there as well. depending on how accurate you are, but you will need to reload if facing against multiple targets. 53, unfortunately, is the maximum number of rounds you can put in this weapon. I would not recommend using the speed loader version with 53 rounds. Reason being is this further increases your ADS time, making the weapon a little bit too slow for my liking. So the end result of this is you end up with a ferociously fast and also hard-hitting submachine gun. The fire rate obviously remains, but you also increased your muzzle velocity up to 1,142 meters per second, which is better than most of the ARs. On top of that, you've kicked your range out to 18 meters, so you can actually challenge people more towards the mid-range, and definitely range is higher than a lot of submachine guns in the game. The tactical sprint and sprint speed has been increased slightly, but the main difference is that your strafe speed has been boosted heavily to help you stay away from those enemy shots. Particularly when ADSing, the ADS speed has been increased massively. The only thing to watch for, of course, is that using the Task Force barrel, there is negative vertical and horizontal kick as a result of increasing that velocity and damage range. So you will have slightly more recoil, but it doesn't make a massive difference. It's not like you need a foregrip or anything, as this weapon has next to nothing in recoil to begin with. So anyway, I'll let the gameplay do the talking. In the background, I do have a nice win using the Mac10. I get quite a few kills with the Mac10. I'll admit the gameplay does start a little bit slow. I struggled to find targets at the beginning, but towards the end, I am just picking off targets, in rapid fashion with the Mac10. So I really hope you enjoy the gameplay, and I'll come back at the end for my final review.
Objective is to eliminate the bounty target. Gas is inbound. Bounty target is down.
Vendor located. Found a bounty contract. Requesting area recon.
UAV beginning flyover.
Setting rally point.
UAV is out of fuel. Returning for resupply.
Requesting area recon.
UAV beginning flyover.
Destination marked. over here.
Gas is inbound. Marking new safe zone.
Found a bounty contract. Setting rally point.
Bounty target has been marked. End them. Gas is moving.
Requesting area recon.
UAV.
Setting rally point. Setting rally point.
UAV is out of fuel. Returning for resupply.
Bounty target is down. Marvelous.
Setting rally point. Requesting area recon.
UAV beginning flyover.
Destination marked.
UAV. Returning for resupply.
Destination marked.
Into the new safe zone. Gas is closing
Requesting
in.
area recon.
UAV beginning flyover.
Destination marked.
UAV is out of fuel. Returning for resupply.
Losing ground. Move it.
Made contact.
Enemy advanced UAV overhead.
Requesting area recon.
UAV beginning flyover.
Setting rally point. Destination marked.
Gas is moving in. New safe zone highlighted.
Requesting area recon.
UAV beginning flyover.
Loadout drop on the way.
Setting rally point.
Enemy UAV active.
UAV is out of fuel. Returning for resupply.
Gas is right on your tail. Enemy UAV active.
Requesting area recon.
UAV beginning flyover.
10 are left. Keep the pressure on.
UAV is out of fuel. Returning for resupply.
Recon coming in.
UAV beginning flyover. UAV is out of fuel. Returning for resupply.
Recon coming in.
UAV beginning flyover.
Destination marked.
Relocating. Streamers in the top 5.
UAV is out of fuel. Returning for resupply.
Gas is right on your tail.
Need recon here.
UAV beginning flyover.
Setting rally point.
UAV is out of fuel. Returning for resupply.
Gas is inbound. Marking the new safe zone.
Need recon here.
UAV beginning flyover.
Setting rally point.
Gas is right on your tail.
UAV is out of fuel. Returning for resupply.
Eliminating enemy teams.
So, now that gameplay is over, you can see just how much damage the Mac10 really can do. That combination of unbelievable speed combined with its ferocious stopping power really does make for a sublime SMG. I would probably put this around an 8 out of 10. I don't think it's as good as the Owen gun and MP40 still, as you can use those 10 attachments to deck the Owen gun, for example, out with possibly even better mobility. And it does do similar damage with a slightly better time to kill, but on top of that, it also holds 70 rounds in the mag, so you can put down more opponents without the need for reload. So if the Owen gun was, say, a 10 out of 10, MP40 a 9, I think the Mac10 sits just below those as an 8 out of 10. Whilst it's not the technical meta, so most effective tactic available, I do think it holds a place. It's definitely viable and can definitely be used for those of you who want to go back for a little bit of nostalgia with the Mac10. If you do want to do that, I very much recommend you give it a go, and I think you'll be surprised by how good this weapon still is. Anyway, if you have enjoyed this gameplay, please drop a like, please subscribe. It makes a huge benefit to this channel to keep getting my videos out there and benefit the algorithm. And I really hope to see you on the next video.